such a badass. You think you're such a roughneck. But I saw you outside eating truffles with your moms in the patio.
How's the tour gone so far?
It's been excellent, actually. In my experience, this has been the best tour that we've ever done over here. I think just people being into the song again, and what we got right is we got the formula right for like the whole bill, like Cornmo and Math the Band and MC Lars, and it's a really just eclectic and solid music experience. So I think we got it right.
Is there any places or venues that you've played that you've been overwhelmed by? Not just on this tour, but in general?
Generally speaking, and this isn't just because of you guys, the young indie promoters do better jobs. We had a show in Carlisle at a place called the Brickyard that was off the hook. The other places that do really well are the places that are sort of like where the owner of the venue is the one promoting. I think we had that in Frog and Fiddle in Cheltenham.
You guys have been going for about like 17 years now, is it? Yeah.
Oh Jesus! This
It's
is
1995.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
So, what do you think is the key to longevity in this industry? How have you done it?
There are many scams to avoid. That's probably the most challenging bit. Everyone's always trying to get their hands on your revenue stream, on your money. And I think a lot of bands can get away with having no management for a very long time. I think a really good booking agent and I think a really good lawyer at the end of the day are the two things that you want. As an artist, it's kind of your responsibility to learn how to manage a tour. If you can't manage a tour, you're not going to be able to hire a good tour manager in the future. So.
When your bed soon neck breaks, when your bird chest caves in, I'm gonna win. When your bed soon neck breaks, when your bird chest caves in, I'm gonna win. When your bed soon neck breaks, when your bird chest caves in.
Do you have any fond memories of like previous visits to Wales that you would like to share with us?
Yeah. Aberystwyth seems to be one of those places that it just always kicks off. I don't really know why. Cardiff is always fun just because it's like the big city. But we had this tradition of keeping a bottle of scotch on stage. To be honest, I'm not a big drinker. I don't drink after the shows. I can't drink before them. But while I'm up there, I have a few sips of the scotch and then pass it around to the band. And every time I hold it up, the chant goes off, down in one, down in one, down in one. We had a Welsh uni gig one time. I'm not gonna say where, and somebody got on the stage and downed the whole bottle. Now
Wow.
we've had people on the stage try and down the whole bottle. The whole world over, everywhere in the world that we've ever toured. Whoever's tried to down in one fails because it's scotch. No one can down in one a liter of scotch. That's impossible.
Apparently this guy could.
No, this girl.
Oh, girl.
She poured it down her face like it was nothing. Like it just disappeared down her throat. And we instantly were like, "This isn't funny anymore. You need to go to the hospital. You're gonna have alcohol poisoning." And it was it taught me a good lesson about the Welsh.
Over and under ride, in love with the suicide. Here we fuck with disaster and careful of something to hide. So come get this trick or try. Push it faster, you bastard. No.
Do you find there's a big difference between like British fans and like American fans?
I find that there's a big difference between regions. In America, we're a bit more of a cult band. We haven't had the kind of radio success that we've had here or TV success. So generally speaking, people who come to see us in the States are more like underground music fans. Whereas here, we've had a big pop single, 2 big pop singles, and people tend to think of us as like a MTV generation TV act or whatever.
So let's talk about the inevitable now of the big single that we broke through with. Keeps fluctuating out of the top iTunes 100. And
Yeah.
like a lot of my friends who aren't sort of this sort of music fans, but they still download and buy it because that's successful.
Kind of iconic.
Yeah. Why do you think it's remained successful so long?
I have no idea. I wrote it lying down on my floor mattress in a very small living room apartment that I was renting when I was exceptionally broke, and in Queens, and I thought it was a great melody, and I thought it was a good story. But I know I had known at the time that, you know, that doesn't necessarily make a hit, that there's a whole bunch of other stuff that has to happen. So when I talk about a dirtbag, I'm talking about myself at the age of 10 or 11 being sort of pigeonholed as a guy who wears the same clothes that these satanic homicidal maniacs wore, listens to the same devil music that they listen to.
Damn devil music.
And kind of walks around with the same haircut. And, you know, once you're pegged a dirtbag, then you're gonna have to live through it.
You've asked fans to pay what they like for the record. Has the response been good in terms of numbers and downloads?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. It's really steady, actually. We're not even promoting it anymore. It's just the idea was to get people to experience the music and then talk about it, and then other people go because of what they heard about the music. The Lightning EP is the first record ever cut to acetate off of a 1-inch preview tape deck, because there's only one in the whole world that my friend Paul has in Brooklyn. And the Jupiter EP is the first ever record cut to acetate off of a DSD Sonoma rig.
Of like young people such as ourselves on this side of the music industry?
You mean besides that it's the only hope?
Yeah.
Well, I worry about you sometimes because I guess it can be rather discouraging. Numbers-wise, there aren't as many of you as there are older people. You're next, you know, for good or for ill. I think it's for good, but I worry about you because it's a fucking dirty old man's game, music, and you know the old in this business have no moral issue stealing from the young. Deal amongst yourselves and develop trust amongst yourselves and protect each other. That's the way to go.
Thanks a lot. This is Brandon from Wheatus, and we are
Gang
from the
Points.
Network.
Goodbye. Thank you.
People